Hey, so in this video, I want to share with you just a very simple business strategy that if you are looking for a simpler way to do real estate as a real estate professional, maybe you're a licensed realtor, maybe you're a flipper, maybe you're a wholesaler, coming to this channel, I want to share with you today what I call the listing lifestyle and what that means. And I created this channel because I feel like it's so confusing being in the real estate industry at this current state of time, right? I mean, are we supposed to be experts on AI? Are we video content creators? Are we trying to go viral? Do we need to go out and build a team? Do we need to recruit agents? Do we need to go after passive income? Do we need to open up our own company? Do I need to have my own personal branding? Do I need my own logo? And it really, if you're not careful, it can get to the point where you're almost paralyzed because I just don't know what to do. And so I created this channel because it does not have to be that way. In fact, the whole idea behind this channel and our online community called the listing lifestyle is a simplified version of doing real estate. And it all centers around one concept, and that is taking one listing per week. Okay, I'm going to get into more of that in a second. Put one listing per week on the MLS. Let all the other agents in your area be the ones out there showing that property and meeting people out there after hours and working all weekend and doing your open houses for you. You show up every Monday with the sole idea, and your sole focus is let's go get one listing and let's put it on the market this week. And you let everybody else chase all the other distractions. I mean, honestly, one of the biggest problems I see real estate professionals have is they are all things to all people, right? If I get on your Facebook or your Instagram, I see stuff about first-time home buyers, I see stuff catered towards investors, I see stuff catered towards some maybe some training that you have coming up, something you're sending out in the mail, some postcards, some magnets, whatever the case might be. And unfortunately, when you market yourself in that way, you just blend in with everybody else. People see you as just another real estate agent. You don't stand out from the crowd. You're kind of taught your whole life to kind of go with the flow and be with the crowd, and then you get into business, and unfortunately, that doesn't really work. So this also is going to be something. This channel and the weekly Zoom calls that we do, which the link to hop on our live Zoom call every Thursday is down in the description below. You can scan the QR code that's on your screen right now, and you can register and hop in with us, so you can kind of see what that's like on a weekly basis. But life can be simple, right? For me personally, I've run a brokerage. I've run a multi-state brokerage. I've at one point had 10 locations in 6 states. But the market really hit us hard. We went after new agents. A lot of those agents didn't have the skills, didn't have the level of commitment to stay in the industry, and so it felt like the last couple of years I spent a lot of time and energy building something that didn't even last, right? And so in this new season of my life, I've gone back to a simple approach, and it's working well for me, and it's working well for tons of people that are inside our online community across the country. Pretty much every market, these concepts are working. And so if that's you, if you're looking to have a simple real estate life and to have a life outside of real estate, right? Most of us didn't get in this industry to just work all the time and be stressed all the time and be doing deals all the time and losing out on our health, losing out on our fitness, losing out on our spiritual side of life, our marriages, our quality time with kids, our hobbies. Most of us didn't get in the real estate business to have a life that looks like that. But if we're not careful and we're not paying attention, it can go that way very easily, right? So just a couple things that I wrote down, a couple core things that I believe in that I think will help you whether you jump on our calls or not. I think this will help you tremendously. Number one is that success is very rarely found in addition. It's normally found in subtraction. What I mean by that is, you don't have to do all these different things to try to find clients, to try to find your next deal, find your next commission check. In fact, I would recommend the vast majority of people that I've coached and trained over the years, and me myself, things go better for us when we focus on one or two, maybe three things that we do well on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Okay. And we're going to cover those things, all throughout this channel. You'll hear ideas. There's a lot of things you can do to go get a listing or to go get a buyer. Here in my area, I'm in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We're a college town. I could send out magnets of Alabama football. The schedule. So I could send those magnets out this week. My clients could put those on their refrigerators. I might get a listing from doing that, right? But can I do that again next week? Can I send them the same thing next week? Probably not, right? So there's really only a few strategies out there. Truth be told, there's only a few strategies out there where you could come on and you come to the office every Monday and you work from Monday through Thursday, Monday through Friday, whatever you decide to do it. I personally like a 4-day work week. But there's things that you can do on a weekly basis to get one listing every single week after week after week after week. You're not having to start over from scratch every stinking week. So subtraction, you probably need to be doing less than what you're doing right now. You just need to be focused more on the couple things that have shown to give the most guaranteed results. Number two, why I go after listings. I personally don't show any houses. Very rarely, I would say, do I show houses. There are some exceptions, but listings create leverage. If you had the choice between these two options, I'll give you 10 pre-approved buyers who have already gotten pre-approved with a lender, turned in all their financial documents, they're ready to go look at houses. 10 of those versus 10 sellers who are ready to list their home with you, who are willing to pay you a commission and want to get their house on the market this week. Now, see, 10 buyers would be madness. All right, what if 3 of them all want to go out on Monday afternoon after work? What if 4 of them want to go look at houses on Saturday? 3 or 4 want to go look at houses on Sunday. The problem with working with buyers is when you sign up with a buyer as a client, you're the agent, you're kind of on call 24/7. Whenever a new listing hits the market, you got to be there quickly. Especially in some markets, you got to be there like the day that it hits the market, right? Especially if it's a unique situation or something, a price point that's very competitive. You better put everything you had on hold, right? I'm a fisherman. I like to fish. We live close to Lake Tuscaloosa here in my town. I can hook up my boat to my truck and I can be on the water in like 5 minutes. And if I was planning on going fishing with my kids, after school, after work, but now all of a sudden one of my 10 buyers wants to go look at houses. Hey, sorry, kids, dad's got to go show some houses. Versus being a listing agent, it doesn't have to really be that way, right? You might have a late afternoon here or there. Okay. Every once in a while, I'll have a 4:30. Every once in a while, I'll have a 5:30 p.m. appointment. But a lot of my listing appointments are 9 a.m., 1 p.m., right? I kind of use the doctor office analogy. Like if I had a toothache, I've got to go to the dentist while the dentist is open. And, when you're a listing agent, you can kind of control your time a whole lot more. And, you can get 10 listings on the market. And while you're out doing other things, while you're fishing, while you're on a date night with your spouse, while you're traveling, on a vacation, showings can happen, feedback can come in, offers can come in. And to me, listings just give you a tremendous amount of leverage. The next thing I wrote down was when you are a listing agent, you don't need a massive team, right? I see agents doing this all the time. A little bitty small real estate team's got 2 or 3 admins. What are those people doing all day? I'm sorry. If you're not selling 10, 15, 20 houses a month, I don't see why you could ever need a full-time assistant. And so, if you're taking one listing a week, some people in our community are doing 2 or 3 listings a week. It doesn't really take that much time. And for me, I have a part-time assistant that helps with, scheduling the photographer and getting the sign and the lockbox put up, and putting the stuff into the MLS. Is it a gas water heater or an electric water heater? Simple things like that. But I'm able to have a very profitable business without much overhead. Right? That part-time assistant doesn't cost me very much money. In fact, I work with a virtual assistant company that hires people out of the Philippines, and I've got a virtual assistant that works for me for 2 hours a day. It costs me $305 per month to have an assistant doing those things and more. Which, you watch more of these videos, you'll hear more things that virtual assistant can do. They can get a lot done in 2 hours. All right, if I'm taking 1 or 2 or 3 listings a week, 2 hours a day for an assistant is plenty of time. All right, they're not going to be overworked. They're not going to be missing out on things, right? So you don't need a massive team. So for me personally today, I've had 160 plus agents, run a mega team in the past. My team today is me as the listing agent, a part-time virtual assistant, and I have a showing agent who does showings for me. If there is a legitimate need for showings, she's not really just on my team. She does her own deals as well, but we partner on buyer side transactions. We do a 50-50 split. I send her the buyer. I help them get approved. By the time I send them to her, we've already talked. We've gotten them pre-approved with a lender, and all she needs to do is just take it from there and go do the showings, and we do those 50-50. So I'm still able to leverage the buyer side without me having to be out there on nights and weekends, and it's a good fit for that showing agent as well. They're happy to have an extra client, an extra closing, even if it's at a 50-50 split. And then the next thing I wrote down is in this market right now, sellers need options, right? If I let's say I had a cell phone store, and all I sold in that store was the latest iPhone model, whatever. I don't even know what the latest one is. Is it a 16? Is it a 17? Is it a X? I have no idea what the latest iPhone is. But if I had a cell phone store and that was the only phone that I sold, I would have some people that come in and say, you know what, I don't need the latest and greatest. I'm kind of okay with taking a model that's 2 or 3 years old, maybe even a refurbished phone, because I don't need the latest and greatest, right? And so, most real estate professionals don't have multiple options. We do here in the listing lifestyle. We work with some institutional buyers that will give cash offers to people. That's a major way that we leverage, marketing. We can become the local, cash offer guaranteed. Guaranteed cash offer. Go to my website here, reach out to me. I'll get you a guaranteed cash offer on your property. It's not for everybody, right? But it does get conversations started, and some people do want to go that route, right? Some people want to list their vehicle on Facebook Marketplace, and they want to let people come out and take a look at it, and they want to get the most money possible for their current vehicle before they upgrade, right? And then some people just want to go to the dealership and negotiate a fair price, but get it done in one day and just have it over with, right? So as a real estate professional, you need to have more than one way to monetize your leads that are coming in, right? So in this channel, you're going to hear more than just the traditional listing, right? There's ways you can do assignments. There's ways you can do creative financing. There's ways that you can turn properties into your own personal rental properties. You need to be able to have more than one way to monetize your skill set. I believe, especially in this day and time. If you've got one product and that's it, hey, I can help you sell your house. Let's get it on the open market. Let's put it on the MLS. If that's the only route you have, you're going to miss out on some opportunities. And so that's something that you will hear over and over and over in this channel. And that's an interesting thing for people that are in the investor side of things. I mean, I'm an investor. I big fan in owning properties, owning assets that go up in value. If you're on here watching this video and you're an investor, you're a wholesaler, you're a flipper, you're a landlord, not every property that you go out and look at, not every seller is going to be willing to sell at a price that would make sense for you as a flipper, as a landlord, as a wholesaler. And so there's a lot more people out there that want to sell their property for top dollar. So maybe you keep doing what you're doing, but now instead of only giving them that low cash offer that you need as a flipper, as a wholesaler, well, now you've got a way to pivot those conversations into, well, I can't, get you that number, Mr. Seller. Unfortunately, there's just not enough margin there for me. I'm not the right person for this property, but why don't I help you get top dollar for your property? Okay. So massive opportunity for those that are in the investing world, for those that are on the wholesaling and flipper side of the thing. And again, these are the kind of things that we cover on a weekly basis inside our online community. So if this video resonated with you, you're looking for a simpler approach to real estate, not having to babysit adults, not having to have huge overhead, not having to work tremendous amount of hours, not having to go viral on social media, click the link below or scan that QR code. Hop on one of our weekly sessions that we do. We do it every Thursday morning. If you can't attend it live, there is a link down below where you can also get the recorded version of that. You can hear like one of our recorded weekly sessions, just so that you can do that at your own time if Thursday mornings is not a good fit for you. But thank you for checking out the listing lifestyle. Hope you get some value from this channel.